The trailer is out, y'all, and it is literally my favorite time. Here are the cards that were shown in the trailer. And so what we're going to do for today's video is going through the Paradox Mons and just their best partners so far. We're going to be getting tons, hopefully tons of support within the set itself. But for the cards that we do have, let's go ahead and talk through what I'm excited to try out. So we all know, we've seen these here already, starting to get them, so just assume that we're going to also use these, right? So Ancient Booster Energy Capsule for our Ancient Mons. The Ancient Pokemon this card is attached to gets 40 plus HP, so we're going to be thinking through that lens as we're going through these Pokemon as well. And then for the future side, well, actually the Professor as well, attach 3 different types of energy from your discard pile to your Ancient Pokemon any way that you like. So as we're thinking about these, we're obviously going to want to throw in at least one of this, if not 2 of these tools into these decks as well. And then when we go to the future side of things, we have attacks used by the future Pokemon this card is attached to. Does plus 20 damage to your opponent's active Pokemon, which is really sweet. And then Professor Duro, which is really lovely here. You actually get to take that Pokemon and then put it actually back into the deck, so that way you actually you don't get the knockout there, which is actually kind of really nice. You get to have that right back into your deck, which could be game changing in terms of saving a play or saving that final point that your opponent needed, or even just setting up your mon that's in the back, so that way you can just shuffle that one out of there, get that free switch in, especially for mons that have 3 energy for retreats. So with all that being said, we're gonna assume that these are in play. So let's just talk through other cards here. So with Koraidon EX, we're looking at this 3 energy, world record 110 damage. And so what we're looking at for Pokemon here, at least that's what my thought is just kind of what are some stage 1s or just even some more bulkier mons that will be able to stick with this, because the HP that we're getting plus 40, Koraidon's gonna go to 190, even 210, right? That is stage 2 megas with the support, of course, of starting planes and the tool, but that's still a crazy amount of HP. So we want to be able to just grab 3 energy right away. And so what are some good fighting types that can still attack at 1 energy but are also happy with 3 energy? And so one of the first thoughts that we had here was Donphan EX being able to deal 50 right away, and then 2 more energy, you get to deal 110. Obviously we have cards like Karina and Arena of Antiquity that's also going to support this cast as well too, against other EXs, so that can really boost up your energy there. But once you start attacking in this way, you can then just drop the Koraidon, jump right up into there and get your 3 right away. Start attacking with that 110 or that 160 with the Karina and Arena Antiquity. We also have the Hitmontop here, and I really do like this card because it is another basic that you can easily search for and just start attacking right away, right? And because you're softening up their bench, you can have the Koraidon just build up on its own in the back. You actually don't necessarily need to use its ability right away, which is really great. So being able to soften up the bench, having 80 HP is still a good amount. You start tackling that up there, so that way you can get your opponents into that range, into that 110 range, to get that a quick sweep out here, right? It's just going away. You can attack the front, you can attack the back, and then really just start disrupting them in where you need to, and then again just being able to come through here. Then we jump into more Rhydon EX here. Rhydon EX having that same ability, Legendary Drive. Once you put it from your hand to your bench, you can switch it to the active spot, then you move all your energy there. Now this card feels even more scary because while Koraidon, you can get those bulky mons, I mean, you can even throw in Garchomp too, right? Garchomp has that 1 energy, 3 energy attacking as well too, but there's no fighting ramp. Well, maybe we have a Sableye that will give you a random, but does that really count? But Lightning does, right? So you're looking at a few things here. You're looking at Magneton, and I like this card here, just because you can just Bolt Charge and just get as much energy as you want. You can get Zeraoras that's out here for that free 1-2 energy. You can keep your Mariah. So I was thinking of Electric Generator, but you don't really want to have that. You can have that in play for sure onto your Magnemite is on the bench or your Zero Ore is on the bench, you don't necessarily want to electric generate on your Miraidon because you want that to actually like move up to the front. But you like, I think these two are like the biggest things, right? Again, if you have to play onto the bench to then switch so that way you can then have it, Pichu also wouldn't be good here because Pichu needs the Pokemon on the bench. So Magneton and Zero Ore, Magneton primary, like just load that up here, and then Zero Ore is also really good because if you have both, you can at least, you still have 1/1 energy, and then you can drop it after that first turn, grab the other two, and start attacking with the Miraidon or right away with that as well too. So you can get 3 energy very fast, which is like really sweet when it comes to those two as well. We then go into Iron Bundle EX, and so instead of having, so with the future bonds, they get plus 20 into their attack. So Cold Start is going to deal 100 damage because it does 20 more damage, boosted up to 80, and then you get to 100 damage, and your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. So obviously for one of these things, so what you really want to do, kind of like ramp up into it, Mantike is perfect for that, being able to just jump right on into it, it being a basic, an Iron Bundle being a basic, and you have like a 1 retreat cost. Like it's very easy to swap and swap out to be able to get that up there. Now, what I do like to see here is that your Iron Bundle is meant to be disruptive, right? So what else is awesome at being disruptive that could be like really strong here is Alolan Ninetales EX here, right? I think with it, because you can where we got our Alolan Vulpix call forth the cold, you just add 1 energy and then you can attach the other energy that you need for your Alolan Ninetales and then dedicate the rest of your energy to Iron Bundle. You're perfectly fine there. So building up to this Alolan Ninetales, you're taking away their energy spot, you're attacking up here, they finally try to switch out, and you do that, and then you can come in with the 100 damage, keep them in the active, hit them for 80 after that. Or what you do is jump into this Alolan Ninetales, which is a Blizzard because it also attacks the bench, and then you're now free to Cyrus up any of those bonds and then keep them trapped in the active spot for a paralysis. This Alolan Ninetales can set you up really nicely to attack into their Mega that they're hiding into the back. You can then Cyrus up, Iron Bundle, and get things going from there. And again, being able to dedicate, you only really dedicate 2 energy because you ramp up your own water energy into the Iron Bundle to really make this spicy. We then jump into Fluttermane. Fluttermane is an interesting one here. If for the first time this card has to use an attack after coming into play during your opponent's next turn, they can't use any trainer cards. So what you want to think of with this card is you want to think of like Gengar EX here, but for just 1 turn is essentially like what this kind of like spells out to, but that's only when you're ready to attack and you're kind of free from there. Things to think through in terms of like getting that, you can also like just run a double basic deck here. You can have Mimikyu EX, you have Stall, which is also another part of disruption, slowing down your opponent, and then you can have that Fluttermane go up there. If you have 2 Fluttermanes get it ready to attack, you can at least have 2 turns worth of it as well too. And then I also think like this might just sound basic, but like Mega Altaria EX is just a home of all things. Fluttermane being just another basic mon, it could be like really sweet there, and just having just another option of what to do, when to attack, being able to stop your opponent from copycatting or like Cyrus or Sabrina even for that turn, and then you're able to go into Mega Altaria and then switch things out. Could be really sweet, right? Like you can have that option. We've seen Mega Altaria do well with like the non-EX Gengar before. Like there were some decks that were running around with that. So being able to try to kind of like see how Fluttermane pops into this could be really good. Again, 2 energy, and 2 energy, very low to the ground in terms of what you're committing to for energy and just attacking right away. Raging Bolt here, we're going to be jumping up this HP to 170, starting playing makes it 190, which is very scary because for 5 energy, Baneful Boom, discard all the energy from this Pokeball, knock out that opponent's active slot. So you really want to be selective here. 5 energy to gain is a lot, and yes, you know, you can run the babies for sure, right? Like you get your Mantike, you get your Pichu. But what I really think back to and thinking of like, yes, I think those are automatic, but what could work really well is just, again, you're not going to get 5 energy or 10 energy, right? Like you really just want to use this to really like solidify your win for the game. So insert Greninja. just get those attacks off, get that going, just like be able to get into there. That water shuriken softens up whatever that you need, but you don't even need to soften up. You really just are just one tapping to Cyrus to then hit the Baneful Boom from there. And then another card now that we have is Vaporeon EX. Is still on the flow with the water. You can Frozen Flow, throw this up in here. This now also makes me think of Pidgeot EX, but you kind of have to SS stage 2. Since this is in stage 1, you have less cards to deal with, but you can float around, hit for 80, and then Cyrus back up there. When you're whittling down the amount of Pokemon that's out in the front, Baneful Bunker can definitely be scary. We've seen Greninja go Greninja, Oricorio, and Mega Kingscon, so maybe Greninja, Oricorio, and now we have our Raging Bolt. Could be a new deck here, or a new finisher at least for that style of deck. We then jump into Iron Boulder, 120 HP, Futuremon Modular Axe 80, a Pokemon tool attached. This attack does 40 more damage. We attach to the Future Booster, that means you're technically doing 60 more damage, 20 from the tool, 40 for the effect. So you're dealing 140 for 4 energy. Seems like a lot, but you just hit things like Mega Gardevoir EX, 110 into a 140, sounds really amazing. Or you just kind of like load things up with Giratina EX, you have your Broken Space Bellow, so now you can proc both of them up at the same time, and just being able to do things like that as well. You can don your energy up there if you need to, if you also have the Iron Boulder up front, and once that's like getting low, you can then just Toro it away, right? Like there's just really fun things. You don't even have to worry about the Toro either, because you kind of have Peculiar Plaza 2 less, so now it only retreats for 1 energy, or you can Toro it away as well too. So there's just like really cool synergies that are already happening in here. And then we jump into Iron Hands, and you kind of have to say like, hello Will, like we want to flip the coins, right? Because you flip 2 of them. This attack does 70 damage for each heads. You flip 1, that's an automatic heads right there, that's 70. You flip the second one, now it's a 50-50 for you to be able to do 140. 3 energy for just 70 damage feels bad. 3 energy for 140, you can live with. You can live with that for sure. And then just to kind of like sneak up the energy again, Zero Aura, Electric Generator, Elemental Switch, all the things, being able to speed up into it, you really want to do that. Like even just being able to get 70 damage in the early turns where they're just having basics out could be really strong for you as well too, because at least you go 70 with your other piece, you can go 90 and 70, so 3 energy for 160 also sounds really good coming out from a basic as well. And then Screen Tail is actually really hilarious. 2 Psychic Energy, Shooing Shout, flip 2 coins. Both of them are heads, discard your opponent's active Pokemon. I really want to play this a lot and just kind of make it a challenge video. Like, can we win without attacking? You just, I mean, yes, we see the will that's there, but if you go all in onto this like archetype, you can have some fun with Aerodactyl, Primal Wing Beat, just have some shenanigan nonsense in here, throw their opponents back into their deck, discard the Pokemon that's out there, so now it never comes out. This could obviously just slot in as like a tech card into Mega Altaria if you need to get that extra win. If they're like doing things that you don't like, you can just throw in a Shout and Shout. They have a Mega Charizard Y, Showing Shout. They have their Mega Lucario, Shooting Shout, right? Like you can just always save that for those kinds of instances in there as well too. You don't get the point, but your opponent can't go into that Pokemon ever again, at least not into that match as well too. But let me know, what card are you the most excited about when it comes to this newest set? I myself am really curious about playing around with our Iron Bundle and Miraidon EX as well too, but let me know down below. And as always, if you liked the video, be sure to hit that like, hype, and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace!